Since ancient times, it has been said in Buddhism that the Buddha is not only the aspect known to the world, but possesses the profound nature of the three bodies, Trikaya. The Dharma Body, Reward Body, and Emanation Body each manifest different aspects of wisdom, yet they are seamlessly unified and inseparable. However, worldly people often cling to thoughts generated by the mind, daily bowing and worshiping the golden statues, yet few truly understand what the Buddha's true form ultimately is. This seemingly simple question actually touches upon the most profound and essential mysteries of the Dharma. It was an autumn afternoon, the sunlight pouring through the bamboo grove like a golden waterfall. The shadows of the trees danced gracefully, and a gentle breeze stirred the bamboo leaves, producing a soft, rustling sound. A subtle scent of sandalwood permeates the air, enveloping the entire Dharma assembly in an atmosphere of peaceful tranquility. The Buddha was expounding the profound teachings of the Lotus Sutra to his disciples, his voice like a mountain spring, pure and deep, while all the disciples present listened attentively. At that moment, a young bhikkhu named Shanming stood up from his seat. First, he respectfully saluted the Buddha, then spoke. Recently, during my rest, doubts have arisen in my mind. I dare not speculate on my own and earnestly request your compassionate guidance. The Buddha's gaze turned toward the young disciple, eyes like the gentle spring breeze, kind and gracious yet retaining dignity. Shanming, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Shanming pressed his palms together in Anjali Mudra, his voice trembling slightly. The Enlightened One. The disciple has heard that the Buddha possesses three bodies, the Dharmakāya, the Sambhogakāya, and the Nirmāṇakāya. The doctrine of the three bodies, Trikaya, has left disciples deeply perplexed. If the Buddha has three bodies, Trikaya, which one is the true Buddha? If it is said that the three bodies, Trikaya, all exist, why do the scriptures also state that the Buddha has no fixed form? This question has lingered in the disciples' mind for a long time, like a thorn in the throat, difficult to let go. Once these words were spoken, the atmosphere within the assembly immediately grew solemn, and the disciples seated below each began to strive to outdo one another. This seemingly simple question actually points directly to the deepest mysteries of the Dharma. Even the usually composed Shakyamuni could not help but become slightly restless and evasive, his gaze flashing like lightning as he looked toward his master, awaiting his response. A gentle smile appeared on the Buddha's face, his gaze clear and serene like autumn waters, without the slightest hint of embarrassment or discomfort. Shanming, please have a seat first. This issue is not only something you are confused about. Many practitioners have also failed to truly understand it. Since you have brought it up today, I will clarify it for everyone all at once. The good man respectfully knelt and returned to his original seat, his eyes filled with anticipation and reverence. The Buddha gazed around, his eyes sweeping over the faces of each disciple, and then he spoke slowly. Everyone, let me first ask you a simple question. When you see the bright moon reflected in the lake at night, have you ever wondered which one is the real moon? The disciples exchanged glances, not understanding why the master suddenly spoke of the moon. Venerable Ananda, as the Buddha's messenger, was always exceptionally astute and was the first to respond, saying, "World-honored one, of course it is the luminous moon in the heavens that is truly real. The moon in the lake is merely a reflected image on the water's surface." The Blessed One's hand was slightly sweaty. Ananda said correctly. Then, I ask you again, if there are 10 lakes, each reflecting the image of the moon, is there one moon or 11 moons at that moment? This time, all the disciples answered in unison. Naturally, it was a moon. Well said. The Blessed One smiled gently, saying, "The moon remains the same bright moon. It is only because of the presence of water that its reflection appears. Although there are 10 reflections of the moon, there is ultimately only one moon. The moon does not increase or decrease its own existence because of the number of its reflections. Likewise, a shadow cannot exist independently without its original form. A glimmer of insight flashed in Shanming's eyes, yet he seemed not fully clear, bowing his head and sinking into deep contemplation. The Buddha skillfully guided the inquiry and continued to ask, "What is the shape of the moon in the sky?" The disciples unanimously set out on a journey. "If it is the moon on the 3rd or 18th day of the lunar month." "A crescent moon," the disciples replied. The Buddha turned his gaze to Shanming and asked, "Shanming, has the moon itself ever changed its shape because of this?" Shanming suddenly understood and said, "No, the moon itself has never changed. It is only because of the changing relative positions of the earth and the sun that we see different phases of the moon." "Well done." The Buddha's temporary nod signifies that sentient beings perceive the moon with varying affinities and obstructions, yet the full moon itself remains unchanged and constant. Similarly, my Dharmakāya is like the bright moon in the sky, constant and unchanging. The Nirmāṇakāya is like the reflection of the moon on water, appearing according to conditions and perception, and the Sambhogakāya is like the moonlight, universally illuminating all beings on earth. The three may seem different, but in essence, they share the same origin and nature. With palms joined in Anjali Mudra, Shanming's eyes showed a slight diminution of confusion, yet it had not entirely vanished. The disciple has gained some understanding, but still cannot fully comprehend. What are the differences and connections among the Dharma Body, Dharmakāya, the reward body, Sambhogakāya, and the manifestation body, Nirmāṇakāya? Which body truly represents your real self? The Buddha stood up, walked to the entrance of the assembly hall, and pointed his finger toward a flourishing Bodhi tree outside. "Shanming, please take a look at that Bodhi tree." Following the direction indicated by the Buddha, Shanming saw a flourishing Bodhi tree gently swaying in a breeze. Sunlight filtered through the leaves, casting dappled shadows on the ground. "What do you see?" the Buddha asked. The disciple saw the root, trunk, and branches and leaves of the Bodhi tree. "Respond with clarity and truthfulness." The Buddha smiled gently and asked, "Then tell me, which part is the true Bodhi tree? Is it the roots anchored in the soil, the trunk connecting the above and below, or the branches and leaves swaying in the wind?" Shanming fell into deep contemplation. The meditation hall was silent, with only the sound of the breeze rustling through the bamboo forest. After a moment, Shanming raised his head, his eyes shining with the light of wisdom. "Blessed one, I understand. The roots, trunk, and branches with leaves are all inseparable components of the Bodhi tree. If one were to ask which part truly constitutes the Bodhi tree, it is indeed difficult to answer. Only with deep roots can one absorb nourishment. Only with a sturdy trunk can branches and leaves be woven. Only with abundant branches and leaves can photosynthesis take place. None of the three can be dispensed with. Together they form the complete Bodhi tree." "Excellent! Excellent!" the Buddha exclaimed in praise. "The Bodhi tree's roots are deeply anchored, drawing the earth's essence. Its trunk stands tall and resilient, connecting above and below. Its branches and leaves flourish, nourished by sunlight and rain. The three may appear distinct, but in reality they are one and the same, mutually interdependent. The principle of my three bodies is likewise the same." At this moment, Venerable Gaya, renowned for his wisdom, rose from his seat, took a few steps forward, clasped his hands together respectfully, and courteously inquired, "World-honored one, the question posed by Shanming indeed represents the doubts of many practitioners. Could you please provide a more detailed explanation of the meaning of the three bodies, Trikaya, especially the distinct characteristics of each body and their interrelationships? This would greatly benefit our practice." The Buddha's compassionate smile, assuming the statement to be completely true. The doctrine of the three bodies, Trikaya, is essentially a skillful means established to facilitate beings' understanding. The Buddha's gaze swept over each disciple present, as if piercing the boundaries of time and space, illuminating the true nature of all phenomena. "My three bodies are not three separate entities, but three aspects of one unified whole. The Dharmakāya pervades all places, neither arising nor ceasing. It is the essence of all phenomena in the universe. The transformation body is adorned with unparalleled splendor, endowed with blessings and wisdom, manifesting the fruition of perfect practice. The manifested body appears according to conditions to save and transform sentient beings. It is the skillful means body that manifests to liberate all beings. With clear and bright eyes, Venerable Shakyamuni, the principle of the three bodies you have expounded seems to have been somewhat understood by your disciple, yet still feels profound and unfathomable. If asked which form is the true Buddha, how should I understand it? The Buddha slowly closed his eyes, and after a moment, opened them again, his gaze as if penetrating the endless expanse of time and space. Shaming, I ask you, when you hold up a bowl of water, can you distinguish which drop is river water, which is stream water, and which is rainwater? Shanming shook his head, unable to do so. Once the waters merge, they become one, indistinguishable. Indeed, the Buddha, with his calm and resolute nature, embodies the truth that my three bodies, though seemingly distinct, are in essence one. The Dharmakāya is like the nature of water, moist and formless. The reward body appears majestically like ripples on water. The manifestation body is like the shape of water, moving according to the breeze. The three bodies are one and indivisible. The Buddha arose and walked slowly within the assembly hall, each step seemingly treading upon the hearts of the disciples. The Dharmakāya is the true nature of all phenomena in the universe, the essence of all appearances, pervading the void and being omnipresent. The Avadamsukha Sutra states that the Dharma nature pervades all places. All sentient beings themselves are the lands, and all three times are fully contained without remainder, yet without any form or image to be grasped. The Dharmakāya is formless and without shape, neither arising nor ceasing, transcending time and space, abiding eternally unchanging. Suppose the Venerable pondered for a moment and raised a question. World-honored one, if the Dharma body is formless, how can sentient beings perceive it? How can a formless Dharma function? The Buddha smiled gently and replied, precisely because it is formless, it can manifest all forms, just as the formless void can accommodate all things. Although the Dharmakāya has no form, it is the essence of all forms. Just as space is colorless and formless, yet it can accommodate all phenomena in the realm of form. Just as the great earth does not speak, yet it nurtures all living things. The Dharmakāya is the same, formless and without characteristics, yet it is the root of all dharmas. The Buddha turned towards Venerable Ananda, who had been silently recording all along. The Sambhogakāya, or the reward body, manifests the fruition of perfect practice, complete with the 32 marks and 80 minor characteristics. It is directed towards the Pure Land, preaching the Dharma for all bodhisattvas. The Mahaprajnaparamita states that the reward body of a Buddha possesses immeasurable radiance, countless sounds, and innumerable marks of excellence. Its light pervades the worlds in all 10 directions. The reward body represents the perfect accomplishment of practices cultivated on the ground of cause, embodying the perfect integration of both samatha, calm abiding, and vipassana, insight, meditation. In Shaming's eyes filled with reverence and doubt, he asked, Shakyamuni, your reward body is so solemn and splendid. Why is it that we ordinary beings cannot see it? Why is it that only great bodhisattvas can perceive it? The Buddha compassionately explained, Shanming, it is like how a person with clear vision can see 1,000 miles away, while a blind person struggles to take even a single step. The transformed body, Nubdarupa, is pure and undefiled, and can only be seen by those with a near eye, intuitive, or spiritual vision. Sentient beings' minds harbor heavy defilements, like turbid water that cannot reflect the moon. How then can they perceive the pure and adorned Sambhogakāya? Sentient beings are weighed down by heavy karmic obscurations, like a pitch-dark night. How then can they behold the radiant sunlight? Only when a bodhisattva completes perfect practice and eradicates all defilements can they perceive the majestic and splendid marks of the reward body, Sambhogakāya. The Buddha ultimately indicated that his present physical form, the manifested body, is a contingent image realized to liberate sentient beings. The Diamond Sutra states, "If one sees me in form or seeks me through sound, that person is walking on a wrong path." Unable to see the Tathagata, the physical body before you now is a manifestation body, Nirmāṇakāya. The manifested body is like the reflection of the moon, appearing according to conditions, arising and ceasing. This is the skillful means body manifested for the purpose of liberating sentient beings. The Buddha further explained that the manifested bodies appear in various forms according to the faculties and merits of sentient beings. Regarding the bodhisattva, I can manifest the form of a bodhisattva. For the Sravaka, I can manifest the form of a Sravaka. For worldly beings, I can manifest a worldly body. Even for non-human sentient beings, I can manifest in similar forms to facilitate their liberation. This is like a bright moon reflected in thousands of rivers and streams. The images appear different according to the clarity or turbidity of the water, but the moon itself never changes. Upon hearing this, Shanming's heart suddenly became enlightened. "Bhagwan, I understand now. What you mean is that the three bodies, Trikaya, are originally one essence. They are merely spoken of as three bodies for the convenience of guiding sentient beings with different capacities. It is similar to how water exists in three states, liquid, solid, and gas, but in essence, it is all water and inseparable." The Buddha smiled, folding his hands in reverence. "Well said, well said. You have already begun to understand. The Dharmakāya is the essence, the Sambhogakāya is the form, and the Nirmāṇakāya is the function. Just like the water of the great ocean, the waves, and the wetness, which appear as three distinct entities but are in fact one and the same. Just like ice, water, and steam, which have different forms yet share the same essence." The Buddha joined his hands in a gesture of reverence, and in an instant, a golden radiance emanated from his body, illuminating the entire assembly. Therefore, virtuous one, when you ask which body is the true Buddha consciousness, the answer is that all three bodies are both truly so and not so. If one clings to any particular self as true, one falls into dualistic distinctions. Only by realizing the unity of the three bodies can one truly see the Buddha's true form. At this moment, the afterglow of the setting sun filtered through the curtains, casting light upon the Buddha. His shadow was clearly cast upon the ground. The Buddha pointed to his shadow and asked, "Shanming, is this shadow me?" After pondering for a moment, Shanming replied, "No, yet it cannot be separated from the Tathagata. Without the Tathagata, the shadow would not exist. With the Buddha, Shakyamuni, the shadow naturally appears." The Buddha then pointed to his physical body and asked, "Is this body truly me?" Shanming responded with even greater confidence, stating that the Buddha's physical form is not the entirety of the Buddha. The physical body is subject to birth and death, but the Dharma body of the Blessed One is neither born nor extinguished. The Buddha finally pointed to the void. "So is the void myself?" Shanming clasped his hands together, tears glistening in his eyes, his voice trembling slightly with emotion. "The void is not Shakyamuni Buddha, yet it is none other than the Dharmakāya of Shakyamuni. Space embraces all things without defilement in every place, just as the Dharmakāya abides in all places without arising or ceasing, remaining ever present." The Buddha showed a comforting smile. "Shanming, you have truly begun to comprehend. The Buddha's three bodies and the 10 suchnesses plus the 11th are like a single bright moon reflected in countless rivers. The moon reflected in the water is not the true moon. yet it manifests the image of the moon. The moon in the sky appears real, but from the perspective of ultimate reality, it is also a dependent, arising illusion. Only the nature of the bright moon, transcending the dual relations of relativity, is truly real and not illusory. Shan Mingjio knelt down and kowtowed, tears wetting the ground. The great kindness of Shakyamuni. Today the disciple has finally understood. The Dharmakāya is the true nature of the Buddha, omnipresent and beyond form and appearance. The manifested body, Nirmāṇakāya, is the Buddha's excellent mark, adorned with incomparable splendor and the perfection of both merit and wisdom. The Emanation Body, Nirmāṇakāya, is the Buddha's function, appearing according to circumstances to save and transform sentient beings. The three bodies manifest differently, yet their essence is one, like water, ice, and steam, which differ in form but share the same essence. The Buddha reached out and gently touched the top of the virtuous disciple's head, his palm as warm as the spring breeze. Well done. Well said. You have realized the principle of the three bodies, Trikaya. If asked which body is the true Buddha, the answer is neither one nor different, neither existent nor non-existent. The Diamond Sutra states, if one sees all phenomena as non-phenomena, one then sees the Tathagata. If sentient beings can transcend the duality of form and formlessness and directly perceive the ultimate reality, they will naturally understand the principle of the inseparability of the three bodies, Trikaya. The Buddha looked around at his disciples and spoke with deep earnestness. Sentient beings are deluded by appearances and attached to inherent nature. Thus they only perceive my manifestation body. Bodhisattvas, having purified their defilements, can perceive my reward body. Only by attaining supreme enlightenment can one directly realize the Dharma Body. The Trikaya, three bodies, is described differently merely due to the varying capacities and dispositions of sentient beings. Just as a doctor prescribes different remedies for different patients, though the prescriptions vary, the purpose is singular, to heal the illness. The disciples within the assembly, upon hearing the Buddha's profound yet accessible teachings, felt as if drinking nectar, their minds opened as if a barrier had been removed. Venerable Jyasha smiled and nodded, his eyes filled with admiration. Venerable Ananda meticulously recorded the Buddha's teachings word for word, with the purpose of ensuring that this precious wisdom would be passed down to future generations, benefiting innumerable sentient beings. From then on, Shanming Dikyu no longer clung to the practice of incense offering, understanding the true essence of the unity of the three bodies. He diligently cultivated and ultimately attained the fruit of arhatship. During his practice, he often used the metaphor of the moon's reflection in water to teach other disciples, helping them understand the profound teachings of the Buddha's three bodies, Trikaya. This profound teaching on the three bodies of the Buddha has become an essential guide for subsequent generations of Buddhist disciples, leading countless destined individuals beyond relativity to directly realize the ultimate truth and awaken to the Buddha nature inherently present in their own minds. As the Buddha said, if one clings to form, one will never see the true Tathagata. Only by transcending form and directly perceiving reality can one realize the ultimate truth of the three bodies of the Buddha in unity. Thousands of years later, as we stand before the golden Buddha statue today, joining our palms in reverence, perhaps we should contemplate, whom exactly are we paying homage to? Is it that golden statue or the Buddha's manifested body? Is it the glorious and beautiful reward body or the Dharma body pervading all places? Or is it the ultimate reality beyond all relative concepts, indescribable, unattainable, inconceivable, like the bright full moon reflecting in myriad rivers? The moon's image in the water is not the true moon. Clinging to the water's moon is ultimately delusion. If one does not depart from the water and the moon, how can one truly see the moon? This may well be the ultimate meaning of the Buddha's doctrine of the three bodies, Trikaya. using form to guide sentient beings, ultimately transcending form to directly perceive the formless. The teaching of the three bodies serves to break attachment. In the end, it reveals that the body without form, the formless body, is the true body of the Tathagata.